Okay, Bella, so I want to give you a quick introduction of some of the problems that we're going to be working on today. We're studying slope-intercept form, which I know you're familiar with, and I have two goals for us here today. One is to write equations in slope-intercept form, and then two is to create graphs using slope-intercept form. So two skills, writing equations and graphing, both involving this form of equations. So I just want to kind of go through just maybe like 3 examples with you real quick. Just take 5 minutes so that this way you have an idea of where we're going with this today. So this first part is really simple. It says for each exercise, write an equation in slope-intercept form that meets the given criteria. They tell us that the slope is -2, and they tell us that the y-intercept is 7. So this is just getting used to reading slope-intercept form. As you've seen in the past, it looks just like this, where y is equal to m, which is the slope, times x plus b, which is the y-intercept. So it's really just these two things that we're always concerned about. Y and x are always there. Well, I shouldn't say always, but they usually are there. And it's just a matter of calculating slope and y-intercept. But for this first example, you're not even doing that. They're just telling you to plug them where they belong in the equation. So for this one, it's just going to be y equals, the slope is -2, so I write -2. Put that next to my x value because slope is always a coefficient of x. And then the y-intercept is +7, so I write +7. If it were, for example, -7, I would write -7. So that's really all we're doing here, just understanding that this is slope-intercept form, this value is our slope, and this value off here to the right is the y-intercept. The second thing that we'll look at today is graphs, and then I'm going to ask you, okay, here's the graph, and then what would the equation be? So again, you're always looking for those two things. So I'm just going to look at this one graph with you, then we'll do a bunch more together. I'm going to ask you first, okay, what's the slope here, right? Now, they kind of make this first one easy. They give us 2 points labeled. These points are not always provided for you. Sometimes you have to look yourself and see where the line intersects the grid lines, like it does here, for example. It also seems to right here. Really, you can use any 2 points to calculate slope, as you already know. But using the 2 points they provided, you can see that my rise, or my change in y, is +4. And you can see that my change in x is +2. So slope is 4/2, which we would just reduce to 2. Now finding the y-intercept from a graph is also really easy. You just look and see where that line crosses the y-axis, which is at this point here. We also know this is the y-intercept because the x value is equal to 0. And for this equation, the y-intercept is -3. So I write my answer by saying y equals 2x minus 3. And that's because +2 is our slope, and -3 is our y-intercept. The only other thing I want to take a quick look at here is we will see some examples today where the equation is not in slope-intercept form. And I'll actually leave these for us to do together once you see them. But we've already done this the past 2 days. There will be a handful of equations that you see when we meet this morning, as well as on your assignment tonight, where the equation is not in slope-intercept form, and you'll have to write that yourself. You'll transform it in the form y equals, and then graph from there. That's pretty much a nice synopsis of everything we're going to see today. Slope-intercept form. I'll talk to you later.